And we're back. Ocean's View. The only view that matters. So I'm looking online like I normally do. Just fishbowl topics, things I want to talk about. And I ran across this article talking about Candy Burris. I would like to say formerly of Escape, but they still be performing. They still be performing, so I can't even say formally. Mm-hmm. She's not having understanding from what I can say. She's not having understanding.
Oh shit!
Her oldest, I believe it's her oldest daughter, Riley. Her ex, because she's married now, but her ex, either boyfriend or husband, his name is Russell, nicknamed Big Block Spencer.
Okay.
He's still on child support, and he's in arrears.
Sheesh.
Arrears is nothing but a fancy word for it that owes back money on them child support, on that bread. And his theory is, why do I have to pay child support when you make that much more money than me? And the crazy thing about it, before I get into my feelings on that, what's so crazy is I read something, I didn't like it, and maybe I just took it from a standpoint of, yeah, you was told this. His daughter, who's now in college, Riley, she makes a quote and says, I feel he hasn't done a lot for me coming up, so he can at least contribute to my college. Kids don't talk like that.
No, they don't.
Kids don't talk like that. That's somebody told you that, and somebody put that into your head. Now, I'm not going to say it was just Candy. I would hope it's not a new husband, because that would be corny. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that would be corny. But I'm pretty sure another family member, and women have this thing, they let their daughters hear a lot of things that they probably shouldn't hear, and have conversations. Children in general, but especially the daughters. Mm-hmm. They let them hear conversations. Guys, we do it too with our sons, but it's kind of, it's capped off like, look here. The first thing we say, if you're a guy that's been grown up with that, like, look, don't tell your mama. Don't tell your mama is if you do go back and tell your mother, I'm going to take the hit.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of not rocking with you again anymore. Now you're just the son forever. We're never going to be friends. We're never going to be friends like that.
You broke the code first time.
Broke the code first time out, and that's it. But women, they're doing that, talking with their girls and stuff. So when I read that Riley made that comment, I kind of was like, oh man. Now I'm not sticking up for this cat, because I do believe child support is a real thing. And my thing is this, it's simple. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, then there's no need for child support. But I feel a lot of times when women put guys on child support, sometimes there's a little vindication. Matter of fact, no, sometimes, a lot of times, there's vindication. Now, so we stay on topic. What do I feel about him paying child support and she makes more money? Now, her making more money is one thing, but of course, it's his kid as well.
That's right.
It's his kid as well. So I'm not bailing him out and be like, well, you don't got to pay nothing. No. First of all, as a man, you would want to have your stamp and be like, look here, I'm doing this, I've done that. And it's not about keeping score, but it's just for your personal sake to be like, yo, I know I've helped raise and take care of this child that I created, regardless of the relationship with me and the mother.
Right.
But if he's taking the stance of, you're making way more than me, I'm not in no position, I'm not making any money, you're going to have to hustle it up. You're going to have to do something. But I'm not just going to bail you out. So let me hear what y'all think about, guys not paying child support when a woman makes more money than them.
Okay. So, not making more money, but she was rich.
Right.
Like
there's a difference.
There's a difference.
Yes, there's a difference.
So, and we're not talking about supporting your child. We're talking about court-ordered child support.
Right.
Okay.
And the last I checked, they do some type of equation and they come out with a number.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What was the equation that they did to come out with this number, for one thing?
The 17%? I have no idea.
Because 17% of what?
Of his salary. I think it's the salary.
Why?
I don't know.
So because child support financially, like child support is not raising a child.
Right.
It's there and it's necessary as somebody who grew up with a father who paid child support my whole life.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But so I understand it's necessary, but it's there for a reason. It's there to make sure that the child is financially
100%,
taken care of. But what happens when you don't need to make sure you know that the child is financially taken care of? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And originally when I heard, I'm like, yo, you bugging, yo, you gotta take care of your kid.
Right. That's the initial response.
But then, then my wife told me that Tristan Thompson pays like $40,000-$50,000 a month for child support.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, where's her responsibility?
That's like making it rain every.
She don't have any responsibility to take care of this child if he's paying $40,000 a month.
You know what's crazy with that, and I want you to continue what you were saying, but what's crazy with that, I don't believe, we've all heard of ridiculous amounts of money being shelled out for child support. First off, it's a child. No child on the planet needs $40,000 a month. No child. Now, I'm not going to say no adult, because no adult really needs $40,000. We would enjoy it, but you don't need $40,000 to live. Now, the thing about it is this: with the woman being the caretaker, this is why I have a huge issue at. I have an issue with this. We're talking about people that are rich. Mm-hmm. They're rich. You got a nanny. They stop faking the funk. You got a nanny. Yes. You're there nighttime, this, that, and the third, but you're able to move and do things how you wanted to move, as if you were single or as if you don't even have a child or whatever. So that's part of that lifestyle. But if the whole thing of child support, like you said, is court ordered, and the most important part is you having a relationship with your child.
100%.
Why? And you're doing that. You're having a relationship. You're doing things with them. You're at every dance recital. You're at every basketball game. You're at whatever event happens, whatever activity they're doing, you're involved. But you want to make sure I'm involved by paying the money. This is why a lot of guys take that stance of, you know what, I'm paying, now I'm taking my time back though. But then women now they gotta complain about that, because now, well, you giving the money but you're not around. Yeah, but when I didn't have the money to give and I was around, that wasn't enough.
Exactly.
So it's like a lot of times women put themselves in these trick bags and don't even understand it. Real quick story: I remember a family member of mine. Was constantly being threatened to be put on child support. So another family member of mine told him, "Look here, you know what you're doing for that kid. You know what you do for her when she calls at the spur of the moment. You know what? Let her take you to child support, because first off, he was in the streets, so he had to get a job. Right. So you know what? If y'all can read between the lines, what kind of money he was giving her, versus okay, take me to court because I got a BS job. I work in a video store.
Right.
So she told her, she told said family member, for the first 2-3 months, give exactly what the court says, no more, no less. Even if you gotta buy your kid some stuff, hold it. She's gonna take it off. Now, granted, this was back in like late 80s, early 90s, whatever. I don't know the procedure of getting child support on and taking off, because I know nowadays it's difficult.
Yeah, just
so
come off of that shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's more than just, I changed my mind. You can't do that. But they came to an agreement. So it's looking like, yo, a lot of guys out here aren't going for that. They're looking like, yo, if you're trying to ruin me financially, because that's what it seems like a lot of women are trying to do, being vindictive. Now, I'm not saying that women don't have a right to want to put you through, because if you was doing what you're supposed to do, they're not going to put you on child support.
I don't think it's the woman that's trying to ruin them financially. I mean, it's court appointed child support.
But you have to put it out there. The woman have to put it out there.
All right, what if you ain't paying the money? Like, all right, or what if you need more than that? I understand that. But what happens when you don't need it?
Right.
How can the court appoint something that you don't need? And the reason I gave the Tristan Thompson scenario is because his baby mom is not supporting anything financially.
Right. Well, you do
if you got $40,000 a month.
If you break down the math, that breaks out to like $8.6 million. So you're 18 years old.
Right.
What is the other party having to pay? Like, if you're not giving 100% of your time, what more do you have to contribute to that situation? Like, there's no more money to give. They'll be supported completely and totally. But with, back to the subject of Candy and Big Block, if that's the case, if that partner was already rich, then why aren't we putting in court-appointed visitation? You get what I'm saying?
You can't make somebody be a father. You can't.
No, what I'm saying is, if I'm paying and I'm not seeing my child, then if I'm paying, then I'm in terms of some rights as well,
that
right?
lets fathers off the hook. Like two things are not like mutually exclusive. Like you can't, just because you paying don't mean that you get to see your child, or just because you're not paying don't mean that you don't get to see your child. You see what I'm saying? Like I hate when people do that because you got me on child support. Now I don't want nothing to do with you or your child, or I'm not paying. I'm not doing nothing. We don't even talk about it. Here, take this check. They don't have, they go hand in hand, but they really don't.
Yeah. So the term support has been almost distorted.
Right, but because when we talking about child support, we talking about financial.
We talk about money every time.
You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, initially when I heard Block say that, I was like, yo, you bugging. But when I thought about it,
like, what the fuck
I thought was like, yo.
Somebody's going to have to set precedent somewhere at some point.
First of all, I think it should be a cap on child support.
100%.
I don't care how much money somebody has, makes, or anything. It should be a cap.
Okay, but with that being said, there is no cap on tuition. There is no cap on.
I think it should be a cap on tuition.
Okay, I'm saying that's the internal of that, because if that's the case, schools cost however much. That's in the child support. So you can't really put a cap on it if you were talking about education. It's in the best interest of the child. It's in the best interest of the child.
Yes,
they're not going to stop anything from being in the best interest of the child.
You can put a cap on it. You can. So because I'm a billionaire, I should give you $1 million a month?
Yeah, because it's what I've become accustomed to.
No, that baby's not accustomed to nothing.
But because I've divorced the mother of it, this baby isn't allowed to reap the benefits of me being
reap the benefits of what? Like I said, it should be a cap. I never told you what the cap should be.
Okay.
Like it should be a cap. Like you can raise a kid on $20,000 a month. Okay. I don't care where you are in America. You can raise a kid on $20,000 a month.
And there's people that are raising them with way less.
Right.
Absolutely correct.
I don't subscribe to the notion that just because you had sex with a millionaire, you should be a millionaire.
Oh, hell no.
Just because you had a baby with a billionaire, you should be a billionaire.
Not at all.
I don't think just because you had a baby with somebody that's rich, you don't have to work. But that's weird.
In the same breath, once that child who did not ask to be here is born, they should be provided with the same access as a child that was planned. So how do you put a cap? How do you put a cap?
No, they should. No. I'm talking about court-appointed child support.
Right.
Yo, the court should not ever say that you have to pay $80,000 a month. That's outrageous.
If you're making $800 though,
$800 what?
If you make,
I mean, if you're working $100 million, they tell you got to.
What does that have to do with raising a child?
See, that's the thing. The thing about it is this: nobody has ever been taken to court. The minute I want to see the first woman that takes the father of their child to court for spending time. I don't even want this money. No, we laugh, but this is kind of the crux of what we're going at in terms of support. Because support only my cousin. I have to say his name because I try to keep people's names out of it, but I got to give him his credit for what he said. He said, my cousin Dev Harris. He said the problem is a lot of times when people say the word support, they're only really talking about financially. Yep. And that's it. And he was like, yo, we've got to open up our eyes and our minds to support meaning more than just finances. Mm-hmm. Support, like this. Support is got to start meaning who you can go talk to. Mm-hmm. Support is your cheerleaders. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Support is people that, you put something on social media, they share it, things like that. All that is support. Mm-hmm.
So,
but the problem is
that's hard
the problem
to
is,
quantify.
no, it's not about quantifying. But the whole thing is this: we're always going. The courts can't ever, like you said, the courts can't ever make somebody be a father. But this the whole thing. This is where you get the pushback from. Okay, I'm paying this money. I don't want nothing to do with the kid. I don't think dudes just doing that off top. Women are putting them in positions, and I'm not saying nobody's putting a gun to their head. I feel the guns are pointed both ways. The woman is pointing the gun, trying to force a dude to pay some bread that she don't want to pay, even if she's got it. But then want to turn around and say, yo, he's not spending time, though. The money is not all that. I would rather you spend time. Fine, I'm spending time, but I ain't got no money. But then you start making comments on how much money he's not paying, and you start getting frustrated with how much money you are spending.
I know a chick that didn't put her baby father on child support, and he doesn't really support financially. Well, he gets the baby every weekend. I know a young lady. The father definitely supports financially. Mm-hmm. He gets to the whole summer. He gets the kid the whole summer. I understand that, but I just
that's one hell of a deal. Because the difference is this: he understood. First off, this is a woman he's messing with, but that's how I kind of know the ins and outs. But the whole thing was this: he basically is like, fine, I'm gonna take these 2 months.
Right.
Last I looked, it was 12 months in a year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when it comes to the holidays, he's like, nah, stay with your mama. Now I'm not saying whatever helps, it works.
Is that because he supports financially?
But this is what I'm trying to say. You would have to ask her, because my whole thing is this: who would like this?
What if he didn't support financially? That means he don't get to see his kid.
This is what I'm trying to say. This is the slippery slope that women a lot of times put guys into. The only difference is he's not worried about financial. He's like this: take me to court or not, he's fine financially, so he's not tripping. But like this, I do believe there's times when she's like, damn, I wish he would be more involved. But you signed up for this because he making that bag, and it's great because she's making money too. You see what I'm saying? So she can take care of herself, whatever. But it don't hurt. He's paying everything. Like literally, she told me, she said, oh, he pays for everything for him. That's why she was able to grab that damn house, 5 bedrooms, and this, that, and the third. He don't go in her pockets. Yo, whatever he needs, he's on my shirt.
So that's not court appointed.
No, that's just what they decided. But the whole thing is this.
But once you get the courts involved, it becomes, it has to be quantified so they can put you in jail.
But guys, it just
is what it is. It has to be quantified so when you don't pay it, they can put you in jail. And that tears the family apart way more than anything. But I just don't understand why rich people have to pay so much more. Like they should have to pay so much more. But it should be a cap. Like, yo, I don't think anybody should have to pay more than $20,000 a month in child support.
I agree with that.
That's crazy.
I agree with that.
Like what you did because I had sex with you and you got pregnant, you get $250,000.
Okay, so not in the sense of that, but coming from a relationship, you don't think that child should have more? Should be
coming from what relationship?
No, I'm saying I'm not okay. There's of course one night stand, sex, having a kid, kid comes out. But we're talking about an established relationship that they then split. There should still be a cap on that.
I agree with that. We probably agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, like so it's just an infinite amount of money that you could just pay.
I mean, look, if that's my birthright, that's my birthright. Ain't no cap on my birthright.
You don't got a birthright.
How doesn't that child have a birthright?
Because we live in America, ain't no kings and queens. We got no birthright.
It's still inheritance. It's still inheritance.
Okay, we can talk about
inheritance happens when somebody died.
That's true. That's true.
So because I am living, this is my money, and you can't have it.
It's not your money. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about in the sense of as a child,
right?
Who is not questioned, is not chosen.
So let me ask you this. So if I'm with this girl and we don't have a child,
right?
We live a certain lifestyle, and we break up. I'm supposed to just take care of her for the rest of her life?
No. No, because she
What
chose
are you talking about?
She chose to be in that relationship. I'm not talking about two consenting adults.
Okay.
I'm talking about somebody who was put into a situation who did not ask to be there.
We can
Right,
talk
and then
about
taking
this.
care of him.
We can talk about this ad nauseum. We'll agree to disagree. We'll talk about it off camera. But when we come back, I want to talk about why is it that some of the most down-to-earth people always tend to lead themselves straight to the most toxic relationship. Ocean's View, the podcast. We'll be right back.
Sure.